There was 7 of us. We were working in the woods near Heber, Arizona, and we had quit for the day, and we were driving down this logging road, and it was just starting to get dark. It wasn't quite dark, it was about dusk, and one of the guys in the back says, "What's that?" And there was a light coming through the trees off to the right, up ahead. And when we got around this thicket of trees where we could see what it was this, this object hovering about 100 feet off the road. And, we stopped the truck, and we sat there watching it. And I got out, and I walked up closer to it, to get a closer look.
What happened?
Well, I jumped down behind this log, and as I raised up to go, I just felt a numbing shock. And I blacked out. And my friends in the truck said they saw a beam come out of the craft and strike me in the head and the chest and knock me back through the air about 10 feet there. And they panicked and ran, they drove off.
Can I ask you, before you tell me the rest of the story, had you been taking any drugs on this day?
No, I just put in 8 hours of very hard labor.
Booze?
Nope, I was not hallucinating, I was not drunk, not crazy.
Okay, what happened?
When I finally became conscious, I looked around and I saw these 3 creatures standing over me.
What'd they look like?
They were a little under 5 feet tall. They had very large eyes, small nose, small mouth, small ears. They were very pale skinned. They had no hair, no eyelashes.
Were they human?
No, I wouldn't say they were human. It was very horrible. I jumped up, and there was this thing laying across me. It fell off, and I knocked them away from me. And I staggered over against the table there, and I lashed out at them with this thing that was laying there. But they started towards me, and then they stopped, and then they turned around and left all at once, and that was the last I saw of them.
Robert Schaefer is a member of the privately funded Committee to Scientifically Investigate Claims of the Paranormal. His specialty is UFOs. Bob, what do you think of Travis's story?
Well, unfortunately, there's very good evidence that what Travis is saying is not true, that in fact this is a deliberate hoax. Do you expect people to believe that your mother would tell the police, don't bother to look for him, he's not on this earth?
After a search of the area, and of course, she knew the men, and she naturally assumed that what had happened had happened.
Travis has took a lie detector test after he supposedly reappeared, and he flunked it. And he flunked it very badly.
I was in too emotionally overwrought condition to take a test that soon after the incident. By the way, I did take one later, which was passed.
By a less experienced examiner while the boss was out of town.
Well,
so there were 2 tests. There were 2 polygraph tests. You failed the first, which was shortly after the alleged incident, and you passed the second. Is that what happened?
More than that, they covered up the fact that he failed the first one. The APRO, a UFO group, had paid for it along with the National Enquirer, and when Travis didn't pass, they kept the whole thing secret. There was like a cover-up, Watergate style. They deep-sixed the embarrassing evidence, and then they stonewalled it in public.